Hey folks, welcome back to AAA Farms. James here. Been kind of a while since we done something new. However, about time y'all are seeing this video, y'all should be seeing what the winter project is. So we got a Harley-Davidson Road King, an 03 that we're fixing up. Anyway, I need a way to get it to the house, and so that brings us to today's video. All right. So this video is all about this 1,800 pound capacity motorcycle stand Wheelchock from Pittsburgh. I got this to hopefully transport the motorcycle back home. I don't have my motorcycle license yet, and the tires are also dry rotted, or they're old. It's an 03, it's probably original tires. So the game plan is to hopefully get it running. Like I said, I'm recording this actually before I started working on the motorcycle. But the idea is to get it running, have this in the trailer, so once I get it running, I can just load it on up and be done. And get it home, and then I'll have to do a pretty good detailing, change the oil, get new tires on it, probably change the belt, and all the other little things. So we're gonna get this opened up, see what we're working with, and go from there. So I really don't know what all I'm gonna need to install this, put this together, or anything. We're about to find out. I'm not sure if it causes out anywheres on what I need or not. But it does says it fits tire sizes from 15 to 22 inches. The Road King should be somewhere in between all that. Alright, let's see. Pretty sure this is the base. That looks like the front feet that go across. This looks like the pivot part on the back. Instructions. And then our last piece here, and all of our bolts. Cool. See what we're working with. So, really don't look like, yeah, you got a little bit of assembly directions here. It says measures the motorcycle wheel prior to assembly, which we did not get an opportunity to do. We'll have to do that when we get there tomorrow. Mount support arm forward to the front base using the 2 bolts and the washer. So that. Okay. Certain way they want this facing. It's a bolt washer going out. We'll get some tools, we'll tighten that down, and we'll get to the next part. Alright, the nut's 11/16 and the bolt is 5/8. Alright. Pretty confident it doesn't call out any type of torque spec. Probably should be one so you don't cave that pipe in. Or square tubing in. Just tighten it down and make sure you don't bend that in. Yeah, the next part, base, okay, insert pin 9 through the mounting hole in the cradle. Okay. I don't know if there's a difference between these two. They look identical, so I guess that don't matter. And then, ooh, which way does this go? Alright. So there's a little hole on this. It needs to go up like that. That's really it. So to adjust for your different sizes, you'll pull this rod out, and this front piece will slide back and forth. And you got different holes here for your different widths. I just got mine set to the widest. I don't know what it actually needs to be. I wonder if it calls out what hole that you use if you measure motorcycle prior to assembly, so the micro stand can be adjusted to the wheel of the motorcycle. Yeah, doesn't say which hole is which. I guess you would just measure from here to here. So this is the widest. I'm assuming this is 22 inches. Not sure how wide my tire is. It's probably less than that. I don't know. We'll find out. So the next step is to bolt this to the trailer. There's four holes here, 3 holes here to bolt this thing down. And nothing up here to bolt it down. So just back here, and that's really just to keep it from twisting. This to keep you from rocking, You got 2 mounting points here, and so this will go from here to your front arm, right by your tire. Same thing here, and then you'll secure the back end of the motorcycle to the trailer, which I got an idea on how to do that. We're gonna figure that out. Right now, I'm gonna carry this over to the cattle trailer because the cattle trailer is what I'm gonna put it in. It's enclosed, so it's gonna keep some of the wind off of it. Which honestly, there's so much dust on it, it probably would benefit for the wind to hit it. But the cattle trailer is like 2 inches off the ground basically, versus the only other trailer I got's my gooseneck, and I don't want to load a motorcycle on the back of it yet, considering, like I said, this is after a video before I actually start working on the motorcycle, but this video is going to come out after that. I actually don't know if the motorcycle, I'm going to be able to get it running before I bring it over here. I do got a fresh battery, I got gas, all the things. I'm going to tear the carburetor apart and all this stuff, which y'all have already seen. But what I'm getting at is I'm installing all this, I'm bringing this all over ready to use before I know if I get it running or not. And if I don't get it running, I don't want to have to push it up on the gooseneck, versus if I don't get it running and I want to push it in the cattle trailer, that's not too big of a deal with a little bit of manpower. So I'm going to carry this over to the cattle trailer. We're going to throw that down in there, and we're going to see what it looks like and try to figure out what to do. Alright, so original lag bolts I was going to use are way too big for these holes. So I got an assortment of stuff. I got 3 of these lag bolts. That should work just fine. I have this one here that should also work pretty well. So that would give me 4 holes, so it's probably going to be this one, this one, this one, and this one. And on these other 3, yeah, the next best thing I got is just some big screws, which should work. So, but I'm going to go ahead and drill some pilot holes here. Let's see. Yeah. Apparently I got the wrong socket for these. Yeah. Got the right socket for this big one. I'm gonna put him right here. Finish sucking them all down when I get everything else I need. Let me go get the right socket for these smaller ones. Alright, so I got the right socket. One thing I'm going to do is put the washers I have on these. Last one of these. suck that one down a little bit more. Alright, now we're going to put these screws in there. Just give us a little bit more extra security. Looks like it's this one. Yep. Okay. I think we are fine on that, guys. So, the only thing I had slight concerns about, but the more I look at it, the more I'm not, is up here. Can y'all see that? No. Yeah, I can see it. See that gap? Kind of worried about if the weight of the motorcycle is going to bend that. But, and I was thinking it was because, like I said, we're on this cow panel, so we're lifted a little bit. But I got to looking at it closely, and the further you go down, there's more gap. So even where these ain't touching, it ain't touching the cow panel. So I think it's designed like that. This thing's supposed to be good to up to 1,800 pound bike. Doesn't mean it can support 1,800 pounds right here, but it is the front tire. In all honesty, the front tire probably has the least amount of weight. It's a Road King, and don't quote me, it's probably 700-800 pounds, something like that would be a guesstimate. Anyway, I think it's gonna be fine, and it's on there good. And like I said, I'm not going to be driving crazy. And the way you do this is you'll strap down the tire, or you'll load the tire, you'll come up, the tire will run over this flips over, locks it in place basically, and that kind of holds it. Now, you then take your strap and you go from, well, let me change the angle a little bit. Nope. Okay. You'll take the strap, go to that eyelet, and then come around. You'll wrap the bottom of the fork here. Same thing with this one over here, and then you wrap around the bottom of the fork here. So one thing that does, and I ain't trying to lie to y'all, I did a lot of research in this. I'm also an engineer for my full-time job, so I understand mechanics a little bit. What that does is that's going to lock that tire down, and it's going to allow your suspension up here to still float on the bike. So a lot of the bumps we hit and stuff, that's actually going to get ate up by the suspension on the bike. It should keep, in theory, it should keep from transferring all that load here. Now the only thing that can bite me in the butt on that is they do have, the bike is a 2003 model. So it's old. It's been around the block a couple times. It got rode for roughly 2-3 years, and then it's just kind of sat up. I got it running. This is my dad's bike. I got it running. So I think he stopped riding around 2006-ish, 5-ish. Might have been later than that. And it sat in the garage. And somewhere between 2010 to 2012, I started working on it because I was going to get it down. Oh, we need to suck that down more. You see that? Anyway, I was going to get it running. That kind of freaked out because I was a young college kid. My parents were freaking out a bit. They were worried that something was going to happen because, you know, I mean, motorcycles are dangerous. There's no doubts about it. You just got to be as careful as you can. So I didn't end up getting it, but I did have it running in that time frame. However, since then, it hasn't been touched. I suspect the suspension's going to be fine. The tires are going to be dry rotted. Yet again, that's why I'm getting this, to get it over here and not try to have it transport any other way. But I suspect suspension is going to be fun to work with this. It's kind of where I was getting to it. So, we'll see. Suck that down before I forget about it. Yep. There we go. Yeah. Looks like this one's not touching. There we go. Okay. But I guess the next step is to I'm gonna go try to get it running, and we'll kind of go from there. Like I said, this will hold the front tire. This chalk it. Strap points are there and there. Should work. On the rear, let me get up and show y'all. On the rear, there's this big bumper, and I think, yeah, I'm thinking I can run one of my big straps I have for my hay bale. I can wrap it here, run it around the tire, and come back here, wrap it here, tighten it in there. Because there are no, I mean, this cattle trailer, there are no anchor points. I might think of a backup plan just in case, but pretty sure that's going to work just fine. So, I got my gas can up there, full of gas, fresh gas for the motorcycle. Trying to think what else. I'll have to carry a couple other things, tire inflator and that kind of stuff. I know I don't do much with it, but this Bauer bit driver, I love that thing. It makes life so much easier. That's my wife's little Cobalt drill. It works great too. So, but it's gonna work just fine. Got faith. That's gonna be it. I mean, it's not gonna be it on the video. That's it for today. I'm super excited. Hoping this works out really, really well. My game plan is to have the Harley running, hopefully about time before this video comes out, or on the first video before this video. Like I said, all that hasn't occurred yet. But really excited about getting it running, getting it cleaned up. My dad bought that in '03 in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. We then rode it from there to my hometown of Ponchatoula. My oldest niece was born, which she just bought her first house. Lovely house. Anyway, she just bought her first house. Makes you feel old thinking about this. And then we drove it from Ponchatoula, Louisiana to Toledo, Bend, which is 4.5 hours by car. Considering it was a new motorcycle and we weren't able to just do full speed because of break-ins and stuff, I think it took us like 5 hours. And so it was just me and him on the motorcycle. I was riding on the back. And it was just a great time. It's one of my fondest memories growing up. So I'm really looking forward to getting this bike running. Really hoping to get it running pretty quickly. But game plan, probably already talked about all this previous, or the video before this. Get it running, get it over here, get it detailed really well, and then start doing all the maintenance stuff, the oil changes, probably put a new belt on it whenever I go to put new tires on it, just to go ahead and get that out of the way. Belt might be in great condition, but I'm pretty confident it's the original belt from 2003, so it's probably just time for a new one. Suspect brakes are going to be fine as far as like brake pads. Inspect the brake lines for any type of wear and tear. I do know I got to clean the carburetor because the throttle was stuck, and I haven't put gas in it. I just bought the battery today, New Year's Eve. So we'll see. Like I said, I had it running in 2012 to 2010 time frame, somewhere in there when I was in college still. So hopefully I can get it cranked up just fine. I don't know. We'll find out. I'll see y'all in a bit. It's gonna be tomorrow for me, but fraction of a second for y'all, so let's see what happens. On this chock stand, it's working really well. This is at the maximum size. I did not measure the tire like it tells you to. Kind of forgot. My dad helped me get this thing loaded up, and it was a show trying to do that, so we're gonna call it good. Going through there like that. There we go. Leave it like that until we get this other side on. Here are all the firecrackers. Background. Straight them out of the way. Then we're going to run a strap around the back. I got an idea what to do there. Let's see. Okay, so I got the two straps up front. This strap, long strap, it's going through the back tire, around this back bumper, and back to it. So I feel pretty good about it. So fingers crossed we can make it home one piece. It's only about a 20-minute drive, but it's a rough drive, so I'm gonna finish picking up all my tools and we'll head home. Alright guys, just made it home. Motorcycle's still standing up. Let's go in there and check out on everything, make sure nothing bent or anything. I don't suspect anything did, but I'm just excited to look at it again. Alright, look like everything panned out pretty good. This Harbor Freight chock works great. We didn't bend anything. It's already super late, so I'm gonna leave it in here. I'm super excited. I know this is not farm related whatsoever, but I grew up in, I was born in '89, so I grew up in the '90s, and I've always loved motorcycles. Story behind this motorcycle, he bought this in 2003 from the Baton Rouge dealership, which I believe is still there, same spot and everything, big dealership. We were down there, we were living up here at the time, but we were down there because my sister was giving birth to her firstborn, my oldest niece. And while we were down there, we went to the Harley dealership. I think we went to Honda first and then the Harley dealership. He bought this bike rode this bike from there to Ponchatoula on the back with him, and then after the baby was born and all that, we rode from Ponchatoula all the way to Toledo Bend, which is about 4.5 hours with a car, brand new motorcycle. It took us, I think, over 5 hours because you couldn't just full throttle it, braking period and all that stuff. And then every time I got an opportunity to, I got on the back of the bike with them and just rode around. Really liked it. So I'm super excited about it. Got a lot of work to do. So we got the fuel leak, which I think that's gonna be pretty easy. 2 spark plugs, new air filter. There's some hoses that dry rotted and pretty much fell apart as soon as I touched them. Going from the 2 pistons out to the air filter. That should be pretty cheap. Eventually, new tires. That's kind of the last thing on the list because we really only need the tires when we get ready to take it out. And then when I do the back tire, I'm going to go ahead and put a new belt on it just because I haven't looked at the belt, but it's the same belt since '03 probably, so 21 years ago. It probably just needs a new belt. And then oil change, oil filter. So we're getting there. But this is going to be my good winter project. Going to leave it in the trailer for the night. Probably worry about getting out Saturday night. This trailer, the way it's designed, it's going to keep all the weather off of it pretty well. And we'll get it out Saturday. Pretty sure there's no rain in the forecast this weekend, so. And we'll get started on it. Like I said, as far as getting this thing running at first, I looked at it. I took the carb off kind of cleaned that out. Worked the throttle. The throttle is freed up now. Let's see. You can hear it. So throttle's working just fine. Honestly, I have no idea why. I just put gas in it and kind of worked it back and forth a little bit, so I'm guessing it must have cleaned something a little bit. Cranked it up. Yeah, it's funny. When we went to drive it, it's in the garage. When we went to drive it out of the garage, my dad did it because he knows what he's doing. I never drove a motorcycle, but we got like halfway out of the garage and it died, and it would not crank back up. Well, I mentioned to him that I was like, is there a reserve on it? Because I didn't put that much gas in it. And so he flipped the reserve, fired right on up, and we got into the trailer. And then once we got in the trailer, we had to push it up the rest of the way. But yeah, I mean, to get it to crank, basically put gas in it, new battery, turn the key, a little bit of starter fluid to get it kind of started initially, and it fires up just fine now. So it's kind of hard to complain on that. So just needs a really, really good bath, new air filter, new oil filter, new tires, and a new drive belt, and we're done. Probably going to do something with this headlight. I'm trying to get it cleaned up some. It looks like it might be kind of frosted over a little bit, but I don't know. We'll see. Anyway, it's gonna make 2 videos. One talking about this this block down here. That thing worked great. The roads between here and there, their road that they live on is extremely curvy and extremely rough. And the next portion is pretty much a straight highway, 6 miles an hour, pretty smooth and all that. And then my road that I live off of, not too bumpy, but extremely curvy, and it handled just fine. This thing is cinched down. It is not going anywhere. You need to transport your bike, 100% recommend it. If you got a Road King, the max tire size is what you need. I did not even adjust it. I just kind of left it there and kind of forgot about it. And I was like, well, when we went to push it on, it's like, if it ain't, we'll just push it off and adjust it. But so that's gonna be it on this one, guys. Sorry I couldn't get a little bit more video. It was kind of a rush. I could tell it's very dark outside. I got a lot later starting to want it, but I will be coming out with more videos. Next one's probably gonna be with cleaning all this. We're probably gonna go ahead and order an air filter for it tonight, so I can get all that put back together. And I'm gonna look for those hoses too, and that way we can kind of get everything put together and be happy. Talk to y'all next time. Thank y'all for joining me. I guess technically off the farm today. We're back on the farm, but a little bit different video. Stay tuned if you're interested in this, because there's gonna be a lot of work to it over the next couple of weeks. It is currently January 1st, so Happy New Year's, and we're gonna have this thing running for summertime in March, April. Yeah, should be probably about April, about the time we start taking this thing out. Have everything down here. I'm gonna go through the course, and then once I have this thing running really well and all that, my dad's gonna come over here and he's gonna teach me how to ride it around here before I go to the course and learn everything. They got to teach me, do everything the right way. Definitely looking forward to riding it, but definitely don't want to die on it. So we're gonna do everything we possibly can to negate that or lower our chances there, and yeah, pray. That's about it. So anyway, thank y'all for joining me on the farm today. Super excited. Talk to y'all next time.